Hi girls, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and welcome to today's video. I really can't see what this looks like. I'm so nearsighted and I'm gonna be honest and let you guys know it looks like you guys are crooked. Hold on. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and welcome to today's video. I'm actually really excited about this video because I don't do these types of videos. But lately I've been thinking I really need to start incorporating like sit down videos where I chat with you guys about books. Because usually, well, actually, if you guys watch my channel, you're probably like, I feel like all you do is sit and chat about books. That is true. But I mean, like, I don't do like dedicated sit down videos to where I'm just chatting with you guys and doing like tags or talking about, you know, the newest books that are coming out. So anywho, I watched a few of these because obviously they're very popular right now for the time of year it is. So I figured I would do my own way real quick. So without further ado, we are going to get into the mid-year reading challenge. So let's just get into it. I've been having a little bit of social anxiety lately and issues staring into the camera. And if you well, I guess that's not totally true because I did have to edit down a clip today that was literally me like breaking the fourth wall while I was trying to record content or B-roll. So anyhow, without further ado, let's just get into it. So I'm gonna put the disclaimer that if you watch my channel, then you know I have almost hit 85 books this year. My goal was 75. I can't believe it. I remember last year being like, how do people read 100 books in a year? And now here we are. So anywho, also say is I just want to put the disclaimer that there's going to be multiple books for almost every single answer of this tag. So let's just get into it. So the first is the best book you've read this year. I decided to go with all the books that I have ranked 5 stars so far this year. There's been so many good books that aren't 5 stars, but I figured I can't tell you if I said all my favorite books, it probably would be like 75 books. So yeah. So let's just go over my 5 stars. I don't think I'm going to go like super in detail with my 5 stars, but I'll kind of brush the surface. So The O of Golden, which I just finished. It's a gorgeous story, a very Southern-esque story about this old man that shows up in Golden and has a plan as to what he wants to do. He's giving these portraits away and we follow him on his journey as things slowly unravel and you learn more and more about him as a person as he builds community in the fictional city of Golden. Next is Malibu Rising. The best way I can describe Malibu Rising is like rich people dramas, 80s, surfing, fun, juicy gossip, complex family dynamics, history repeating itself. Next is Book Lovers. You guys know Book Lovers is my end-all be-all. I love Book Lovers so much. It is by far my favorite Emily Henry book, but probably one of my top 5 books like of all time. It just has a special place in my heart. But we follow basically Charlie and Nora. Nora is this like literary agent and she has gone to escape in, what is it, Sunshine Falls, North Carolina. She runs into Charlie, who she had like a complex meeting with a while ago, and they end up, the town she's in ends up being Charlie's hometown. One thing leads to another, enemies to lovers. You know how I love that. And it is just like the most beautiful story and I just relate to it a lot. Go watch the reading vlog where I watched it if you want to see me sob about why I relate to it so much. Speaking of sobbing, next is Into the Blue by Emma Brody. This is a banger that came out this year. Everyone's obsessed with it. It's like one of those it girl books. And it went super mega viral on Book Talk for a good reason. This is one of my favorite reads. Like truly, I think it might be in my top 15 ever books. I I loved it so much, but also I relate so much to one of the main characters who has to deal, I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but one of the main characters has a chronic illness. And if you have ever had a chronic illness, or maybe you've loved someone with it, you know, or at least for some of us, there's parts of your life, or there was a part of my life where I was like, I don't want to bring anyone else in this mess. And it's just like, the book itself is such a beautiful story, and it is a 10-year situationship, and it's just like a heartbreakingly beautiful love story that is wrapped up in the end, but also, you know, it's hard, it's real. It's a very real thing that people deal with. So, anyhow, next is The Wedding People. This was a reread. I guess I'll go over the rereads. The Wedding People and Happy Place. Is that it? Those were my 2 rereads that remained 5 stars. Happy Place, I love it so much. It basically follows a friend group from college, and they go on vacation every year together. And this year, Wynn and Harriet, who are a couple from the friend group, have broken up, and they have to pretend like they're together. Forced proximity. I mean, it's just beautiful, amazing, stunning, gorgeous. I love their love story. And yeah, I mean, she is that girl. The Wedding People is one of those books. It's so beautifully, like, weighted. It has humor. It has, like, levity. It has very hard topics that, you know, a lot of people deal with. And it's kind of like Into the Blue to me, where it's like this beautifully, I mean, it's not tragic, but real life shit. So I love it so much. And I always recommend it to people for a beach read, because I feel like it's just perfect. You want to know, like, what's going to happen. There's love, there's humor, there's finding yourself after these huge life events that you don't think you can get over happen to you, and I love it so much. Next is Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I loved it. Basically, Frankie and George are best friends. They've had a rift in their friendship because Frankie is about to get married to her fiance, and they've been best friends since they were 8 years old, and they've had issues since she started dating her fiance. We start at their wedding, or the night before their wedding, and basically one thing leads to another. Her fiance leaves her at the altar, and so we follow as it is now like 2 or 3 months later, and Frankie and George decide to go on her honeymoon anyway. So George plans the whole honeymoon and all the things to get Frankie out of, you know, or attempt to get her out of the heartbreak that she's experiencing from being left by her fiance. And feelings that were always there start coming to the surface. And, well, you know I love a friends to lovers. Anywho, very fun. Next, I have 2 from Lauren Oakey, Trope Sick and The Best Worst Thing. Trope Sick, I will take no Trope Sick hate. I will say, it threw me for a loop, and it's so funny because on Lauren Oakey's tour that she's doing for Trope Sick right now, she's giving out like these buttons that say, like, I survived 91 or 92% or something like that, because that's when the magical realism plot twist happens. This book is so beautiful. It is so beautifully written. The characters are so complex and have so many layers, but basically the story is about, basically we follow Katie and Tyler. Tyler and Katie grew up together. Tyler was Katie's brother's best friend, and this tragic accident happens when they are in high school, and it's now been 8 years, I think, like maybe 10, but I want to say it's like 7 or 8 years since this has happened, and she has seen Tyler. Tyler is now sober and has his own things that, he's going through. It's very addiction and sober, like, heavy. And as someone who has struggled with addiction, and has kind of been in the rooms, have been on every side of it, I have to say Lauren Oki did a killer job at showing the real side of, the effects that sobriety and addiction have on the people around you. And anyway, so basically it's 8 years later. Katie and Tyler are now writers, and they have been paired together to ghostwrite this very famous author's last book. And we follow as the tropes that they're sort of like writing about and learning about in the book start happening in real life, and it's so fun. But yeah, it's a story about love and yearning, and it just like, it gets me every time. That's one of those books that I just like sobbed over. It's so good, and obviously I relate to Tyler a lot. So yeah, beautiful. The favorites. I love how this has gone on, that I've just sat here and told more and more of the stories. I'm 15 minutes in and I haven't even gotten to number 2. Okay. It's Not Her by Mary Kubeka is the only thriller on here, and I absolutely... Okay, you guys, so my other camera overheated. We're gonna hope that you can see me and this is okay quality. I can't sit as far back as I was because you guys might fall at any given second. So anyhow, It's Not Her is the perfect like summer thriller. It takes place on a lake in Michigan, I believe, and it truly had me guessing at every corner. Basically, there's 2 families. There's a sister and a brother and sister-in-law, and basically the sister wakes up one day with her family to find that her brother and sister-in-law have been murdered in their cabin beside them, and she has no clue what's happened. Their teenage daughter's missing. The only person when it happened is their teenage son, and no one knows like what's going on, and it's and I was like genuinely surprised at every turn. Okay. Anyway, next is Dolly All the Time. And you guys know how I feel about Annabelle Monaghan. It was her new release this year. I really, really enjoyed it. I related a lot to Dolly. She's this headstrong woman who moves back to Rhode Island to take care of everything for her family. Like, she's in charge of everything. The weight of the world is on her shoulders. And we follow as she meets the town like heir, and they get into like a pretty woman fake dating situation to help both of them. Like, he's helping repair her family home, and she's helping him get this like promotion or prove to his family that like he is worthy and all the things after he's been dumped by his fiance. So yeah, last but not least is June Baby. Oh my god, I can't believe I just talked 20 minutes of my favorite books of the year. By Shannon Garvey. It is the most beautiful coming of age story. We follow Ruth, and we go back and forth in time from when she's 18, her first summer, 18? I think that's right. Her first summer on Block Island to now, which she's in her late 20s. And basically when she's a teenager, her mother passes away. Her dad sends her off to Block Island to go meet this woman that she's never heard of or met before. And we follow that summer as, she's 18, she's falling in love. She's like, all these things are happening. And at 28, she's come back. She thinks like one thing's gonna happen this summer, and she's completely thrown for a loop. She loses someone very close to her, so she's experiencing grief again, this time obviously in her late 20s. And yeah, we follow as she kind of discovers herself. Where she's at 28 is not where she thought she was going to be, and she's really confused and doesn't really know what the next step is. And yeah, it's just a beautiful coming of age, both as a teenager and in her late 20s, and it was really relatable to me, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, now we will go to question 2. Right. Question 2. best sequel. This was really hard because I get into cowboy romances this year. So I went back and forth between L.T. Silver's Chestnut Spring series because I loved Heartless and Reckless from that. And then also And Now Back to You. I will say that I didn't read the first in the series, so I don't know if that really counts. So I think I'll probably stick with Heartless by L.T. Silver. Willa and Cade, I cannot. Every time a Fade Into You comes on, I think about them slow dancing in the kitchen to that, and I'd be a goner too, girl. Anywho, next is a new release you want to read. There's a lot. I really want to read Abby Offsides, which comes out tomorrow, and I'm planning on, I think I'm going to try and wait and get it when I'm in London, but I'm not really sure, to be honest. But I really want to read it. It's basically about a girl who gets cheated on, and she drops everything and moves to work for a soccer team in somewhere in England. Liverpool, I believe. And then there's also By the Bootstraps by Alexa Martin that I've had on my radar. It came out in May. And I gotta be fully honest with you, I don't know what it's about. I know that it's a cowboy romance, and it sounded right up my alley when I saw a TikTok about it. Okay, next is the most anticipated release for the second half of 2026. I actually have a lot, but I put Lila Sage's new release, which is Free Falling. I keep calling it Soul Searching, and that's the first in the series. It's the second in the series. It is like a ghouly Western cowboy romance, and I'm really, really excited. I actually don't even know what the second book, who we're following in the second book, but if Lila writes it, I will read it. Next is The Biggest Disappointment. I'm gonna go, this was a little hard because there were a few, but I'm going with My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. I have tried my hardest to get into Alice Feeney, and I've just accepted the fact that I just don't think we vibe. I'm sorry, Alice. Your writing, you are a good writer. It's just like not exactly my type. And I actually ended up still rating this book 4 stars because I was sucked in. The writing was good. I just had whiplash the entire time. I'm so sorry. I love you, girl. I love you, girl. You were so talented, and so many of my friends love your books. But yeah. The biggest surprise, I think, in her own league / getting into sports romance. I never in a million years thought I would be a sports romance girly, but turns out all you have to do is give me Monty. That book, yeah, it changed my heart, it changed my soul, it changed my brain chemistry. Our queen is a mid-sized plus-size girly, and to have Monty, I'm just gonna leave that there. Shout out to Wynn though, because she tried to get me to read that series for so long, and I was like, no, I don't think I'm a sports romance girly. I am now. 7 favorite debut or new to you author. I'm going with Lauren Oakey. There's a lot like Shannon Garvey, Emma Brody. But Lauren Oakey having those 2 bangers like Best Worst Thing and Trope Sick genuinely changed my brain chemistry. She just has a way of writing the most like complex, beautiful characters and stories, and I just eat it up. I eat it up every time. I'm so excited to see what her next book will be. 8 is newest fictional crush, and that is gonna have to go to Maverick Hunt. My gosh, I think that's what every girl wants, a man who is on his pursuit, knows what he wants, and will wait for when she's ready. I'm still gagged thinking about Night Watch. Oh my gosh, that book is like one of the best cowboy romances ever. Continuing on cowboy romance, newest favorite character is going to be Lark Gatlin because I really relate to her, and I just finished that book like a couple days ago, and it's What's a Forever by Corinne Michaels. It is another cowboy romance. Absolutely devoured that. And Tristan Stone could have easily been my crush or newest fictional crush, but Maverick. Anyway, Lark is this headstrong cowgirl who doesn't take no for an answer, and knows what she wants and goes after it. And I really, really enjoyed her character development throughout the book. So, yeah. Next is a book that makes you cry, and that's going to be Into the Blue. I thought about all the books that I cry. I cry very easily. When you're sober and you don't have like that buffer, you don't have any numbing medicine, you cry a lot, okay? You cry. And I sobbed over Into the Blue far more than any of the other books I've read. Although, you know, that's saying a lot because, once again, I cry a lot whenever I'm reading. I just can't help it. The words, the books, the feelings, they get to me. And it's so beautiful. Next is the next book that made you happy, and I did laugh writing this down, Theo of Golden. I will say I did also cry, but like in the most beautiful way. Yeah, I just, no words. Theo of Golden. I was like giddy reading it because I felt like I was home. Next is most beautiful book you've read this year. I went with Cowboy Casual because I'm obsessed with the cover art. Hold on, let me grab it. Let's give her her moment, shall we? Isn't that so beautiful? Oh my gosh. Stunning. Okay, last but not least, what books do you want to read by the end of the year? Okay, most of these I have requested on NetGalley. There's some that have been denied already, but we'll just really quickly go through them. I'm not going to go through the synopsis and everything of them because this video is probably already 30 minutes long. So I'm very excited about these. Most of these are spooky season. So first is The Unknown by Riley Sager. You guys know how much I love Riley Sager. I did get denied this. That's okay. I still love you. I think Berkeley. Next is Grim Tidings by B.K. Borison. I wish I could get approved for this right now because it'd be perfect for my little submarine book. Next is Sometimes I Scare Myself, Geneva Rose. This is a story, 3 stories, I think, in a book. And I think it's more horror than like thriller. I'm not totally sure, but I absolutely eat any Geneva Rose writing up. She's such a great author. We've already talked about it, but Free Falling by Lila Sage. And then next is The Thoroughbreds by Ellen Hildebrand. I'm very excited to see where we end in this series. I think it's going to be the last of the series. I'm not totally sure. But I enjoyed the first one. Next is Let's Kiss and Tell by Joss Richards. She wrote It's Different This Time last year, and I really, really enjoyed it in the fall. It was one of those viral book talk videos, so I'm excited to see how I like this one. Same with a viral TikTok video from last year, Love Like This by Julia Olivia. I'm really, really hoping I'm going to enjoy that one. It looks so good. And yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I didn't chat too long. The answer is yes, I chatted far way too long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.